was 14, and some young people in this room might remember, because it's not too far away from them, some of you might not so much, but our parents have this uncanny way of convincing us to do things that we don't necessarily want to do. My dad told me I was going to study law. Yes, you have a career in law. And after a while, it started to sink into me, and I thought, yeah, quite passionate about law, that's what I want to do. So he pretty much laid out my map for me and said, finish your GCSEs, go to college, go to university, get a degree, and live happily ever after. So, was it that simple? I managed to do everything right up until the point when I'd got accepted at university to study law and politics. But when I was 21, instead of starting my career, my amazing career as a lawyer, something that my dad could be proud of, I had graduated not from Birmingham City University, but from the University of Life. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because some people don't have a degree, but for me it was, because my graduation ceremony took place in the courtroom, and I wasn't wearing a robe. In fact, I got sent to prison when I was 21. One thing about prison is you've got lots of time on your hands. And I sat there and thought, what am I going to do next? A career in law? Not necessarily a good idea anymore. So I thought, what could I do? Because the reality was, my aspirations now had to change whether I liked it or not. One thing that I did aspire to do, because I had younger siblings, was to aspire to inspire them not to make my mistakes. And I thought, I've got to do something which will make my parents proud, so I wasn't this big, great, fat disappointment, because I'd literally thrown away my life, according to them. So after I got released from prison, I spent some time working in Aston with young people. I'd grown up in the lovely, affluent, middle-class, leafy suburbs of Harborne, but by the time I was 21, I was living in a flat in the inner city of Handsworth. And believe me, life is a lot different. So when I was working with these young people in Aston for about 6 months, I realised that there were so many young people that were living that had limited opportunities and had a limited view of their future. Their aspirations were very, very dim. And it wasn't not because they weren't talented, it was because they didn't see the opportunities that other young people could see. A year later, I find myself at a party, as many young people do. At that party, 2 young people lost their life. The next day, my brother called me to see if I was okay. It was only then I'd found out that 2 girls had been killed. And you think, just like that, a young person's life is taken away. And it puts your whole life into perspective. And you think, something's got to change. Something's got to give. And if not me, then who? And if not now, then when? And if not here, then where? So I found myself thinking of ideas of way that I could work with young people. And I went to try and get support from different agencies, and everybody used to just think I was crazy, because some of my ideas are a bit crazy. But I realised that because the support didn't exist what I wanted, I had to create that myself. And if it meant me going back to college and training and doing whatever I needed to do, that's what I would do. And that's what I did. And I created a business startup program for young people in 2005 called Access to Enterprise, which worked with disadvantaged young people from the inner city of Birmingham so that they could start their own business. And for the past 10 years, I've worked with young people from hardcore gang members straight through to graduates. I've used the media, business, and the arts to create a platform for young people and to provide them with opportunities. And I've been lucky enough that my journey has taken me to Buckingham Palace, to 10 Downing Street, and to the House of Commons. And young people, or even people, you might look at me and say, so what's so special about me? Well, actually, there isn't anything particularly special about me. I always say to a young person, I only consider myself to be a little less ordinary than the girl next door. All it takes is one person to inspire someone else. And it doesn't matter if you're the employer or you're the employee. It doesn't matter if you're a young person or a bit more on the mature side. everyone in this room has the power and the potential to inspire a young person. You know, we live in such a vibrant and youthful city. And at the moment, if we look at the statistics state that youth unemployment's on the rise. We've just escaped a triple-dip recession, and that everything is bleak and dim. So young people, what do they have to aspire to? Surprisingly, young people are seeing that the opportunities are here, and the opportunities are now. And if we look at our version of success, if I was going to pursue my career in law, my success would be very selfish. It would be all about me. It would be about what car I drove, how much money I had in the bank, how much court cases I would have won. And if we look at success as how we teach young people today, success is very linear, and it's about getting on the career ladder and making money, and that's the definition of success. But in this city, there's a hub of young people that don't want to go to university. They're young people that are becoming entrepreneurs. There are young people that are becoming social entrepreneurs like me. In fact, our city is infested with them, but that's a good thing. The thing is that we as a whole, as people, we need to create real change in this city. And that we need to look at not at the negative stuff, but look at the positive things. Because everybody, just like I did, has the power to say, this is not how my journey will end. I can make something of my life. And everybody in this room has the power and the potential to inspire someone else. And it's about using creativity. It's about embracing diversity in different cultures. Because the reality is, our lives are our legacies. My question to you is, what will yours look like? Thank you.